So on Wednesday, earlier this week, or no, that's today. Let's try Monday. Earlier this week, it was, I believe, National Fettuccine Day, and so I said, well, I'll tell you what, on Wednesday, I'll whip up my recipe for Fettuccine Alfredo, and so we'll run quickly through the ingredients here. I've got some noodles here, Alfredo noodles, of course, but I've done them a different way. I'll let you know how I've done my noodles a little bit differently. I have some raw mushrooms that have not been kind of cooked just yet. We're going to leave those off, but I have some mushrooms here that I just finished sauteing in about 2 tablespoons of butter. This is a healthy recipe, right? And then I have a cheese here. Now, most recipes just call for Parmesan cheese, and that's it. Maybe some Romano. I love levels of flavor, so this is a mozzarella, a provolone, a Parmesan, a Romano, and an Asiago cheese combination. Heavy whipping cream, of course, with some fresh garlic we'll be mincing soon, and some other ingredients over here too. Pepper, parsley. This is actually pasta water. I took water out of the pasta when I cooked it so that if this gets too thick with the heavy whipping cream and the cheese, I can thin it out a little bit but give it some flavor using the pasta water versus just throwing some regular water in there. But when I mentioned my noodles earlier, I didn't just boil them in water. I put some salt in my water, but I also included in some flavor here. This is chicken base. They make all kinds. This is just called Better Than Bouillon, and this one is a roasted chicken flavor. They make all kinds, a vegetable base, a beef base, but I put that in the water to give flavor to the noodles. So now what I've got in my pan here is about 5 tablespoons of butter that I've already melted. We're going to bring that up to a simmer, and we're going to put in some fresh garlic with this. I have my garlic mincer here. All you have to do is put some cloves of garlic in there, press it, and your garlic comes out just like that, freshly minced. And we're going to add that now into the butter here. This process to let your garlic kind of begin to really fill up with flavor into your butter only takes about 1 to 2 minutes. Your mushrooms, that process will take probably closer to about 5 to 6 minutes to get your mushrooms really sauteed. When you're done sauteing the mushrooms, take them out of the pan. Don't clean your pan. There will be brown specks in your pan from the mushrooms. That is called flavor. You can kind of see it here right along the edge of my pan. Don't get rid of that. Don't wipe it out. That is flavor. You don't want to remove that. After that, really, this is a really simple recipe. You're going to take your heavy whipping cream and begin to add that in here. Some recipes you can kind of do a half and half when it calls for heavy whipping cream. I don't recommend it on this one, just so you know. I do recommend the heavy whipping cream on this one. Now, this will begin to thicken here relatively soon, obviously, because it's called heavy whipping cream, right? But the way you're going to thicken it up even more is by beginning to add in some of your cheese. But do just a little bit of your cheese at the time, because if you add it all in once, it will begin this process of kind of clumping together, and it'll be really hard to melt, and it will not be really too uniform at all. So there's a little bit of cheese put in. That seems to have melted, so I'm going to throw in a little bit more of my cheese now, and also just go ahead and add in my mushrooms. Now, with Fettuccine Alfredo, you can do a protein. You can throw chicken in there. It's kind of the most common one, but you can also put in there, as I mentioned chicken, you can do shrimp too. So now just continue to stir. You see we're kind of thickening up here. I have a little bit of cheese left, so I'm going to add the rest of my cheese in there now. It is a little too thick for my liking, so I am going to add just about 1 tablespoon of my pasta water in there to begin the thinning process as I mix everything in. Now what you're going to do is, as this is beginning to really get a really good flavor, a good scent to it, go ahead and now add in your noodles here. And just carefully add in your noodles, because if you add in too many and you don't have enough sauce, well, that's not going to look too good on you. So we're going to add in just a little bit of noodle at this time. To make it easier, I'm going to use my tongs now to begin to stir this up. This will be the part too where you add in your chicken or your shrimp or whatever protein you decide to go with. Noodles will help thicken up too, has a little bit of starch in it. So take some of your pasta water, put that in there. That will begin the thinning process once again. So once it's all said and done, that is it. What you'll do is you can top it with a little bit more of your freshly grated cheese, which I've got here. I'll top some, and also you can throw in some parsley leaves on the top. There it is, Fettuccine Alfredo. Very easy to make. Let me kind of get this adjusted, thinned out a little bit more, plate it up. Ron's trying it out here in a couple minutes.